All the global leaders were gathering together to go inside the main conference hall where still the inaugural ceremony is taking place. In fact, leaders from almost 145 odd countries have gathered here. So while Prime Minister Narendra Modi was there in that lobby, in that corridor to enter the conference hall, that is where Prime Minister Narendra Modi met Pakistan Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif. We are yet to get the critical details whether they actually sat down in the lobby to exchange two pleasantries.
Those are the visuals we are putting out right now. Aditi, they did sit down. It was a closed one-on-one chat which they have had. They're sitting and deliberating whether it is mere optics or whether there was something significant that was discussed, because the discussion is very, very animated between the two leaders. Now, we've seen what's happened the last time around. These two leaders connected and decided to engage. There was a resolution which was signed by both the secretaries. It was, acknowledged, and it was also accepted by the two prime ministers. But it all went south thereafter. This, I'm talking about what happened in Ufa. Now we have to see, will the two leaders be more guarded in the way how things pan out, what is discussed? On the one hand, Nawaz Sharif, ahead of coming to Paris, saying that we are ready to sit across the table without preconditions. India's manner softening in terms of approach. The government even mulling playing cricket with Pakistan and Sri Lanka. Clearly showed that both parties wanted to thaw the equations, and there was significant international pressure on both India and Pakistan to resume dialogue, to resume equations and get back from this standoffish point where we are at the moment, Aditi.
In fact, Anand, yes, even we are getting the information at this point of time that both the leaders really did take that conversation ahead from the shake hand. They sat down together. They had a 2-minute talk as well. We are still trying to get the details to times now. What exactly was exchanged? What were the talks really about? Whether they were just pleasantries that were exchanged between the two prime ministers, or whether there was probably a meeting that was lined up that probably later in the afternoon, where the bilateral slots have been given to both the prime minister, that they could probably meet after lunch for these bilateral talks. So we are still trying to get those details, whether that meeting has been confirmed, whether that bilateral talk has been confirmed between India and Pakistan. But yes, both the prime ministers decided to take it a step further from the previous international meetings that we have seen between India and Pakistan. Both the prime ministers have met over the past couple of months many a time, but it always has been a formal, distant acknowledgement. But this time around, they not only exchanged a handshake, but also sat down together to have a brief talk, a